That way we can behave ourselves.
Yeah, I need all the help I can get.
Sometimes you'll get a look over the glasses like this too, okay?
I know, my goodness.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, we are recording and live streaming when you are ready.
Oh, just about ready. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, happy birthday.
Thank
Ish,
you.
right? You don't get a
Yes,
birthday this year.
I am 12 3/4.
Well,
Wasty.
thank you.
Well, it's 10 o'clock. So we'll call the meeting in order for the Finance and Administration Committee. And is everybody satisfied with the agenda? Any changes? Hearing none, we'll consider it approved. We'll call to the public. Anybody online?
We do not have anyone at this time, Mr. Chairman.
Then we'll move it right along. Our first business item is consider approving the proposal from Professional Services Industries Incorporated for materials testing and observation services for the Isabella County Sheriff's Office and Correctional Facility Project in the amount of $75,470 and authorize the board chair to sign the same. I looked through this document. It's pretty comprehensive. I was thinking, boy, you gotta have an expenditure of $75,000 for people to use the right soil and do the right work. And so you get what you're paying for.
Exactly.
And at a project at $48 million, I guess that's pretty important.
It is. We had budgeted just over 83,000 in the project budget for these services. So it did come in about $10,000 under budget, which is nice. But yes, these services are needed as a checks and balance on the contractors performing the work. Clark Construction's there, they're going to be in the field, but this is kind of a check and balance against Clark Construction. Maybe I shouldn't have called this quality control. Maybe it's more like quality assurance. And Heidi, please, jump in if I'm saying the wrong terms here. But basically, Clark Construction can't hold this contract with that testing company. It would be inappropriate. There needs to be a checks and balance. It's with the county. The reports will come to the county. But Clark will help us in this because they'll pick up the phone and call PSI when it's time to test certain materials throughout the project. From the asphalt to the steel to the concrete, there'll be these kind of testing throughout the whole project. Clark will manage that for us when PSI is going to come on site to do those basically third-party testing.
Correct. Yep.
Straightforward. Well, I don't know if there's any need for more discussion. I don't know if you have questions on it.
No,
It seems like it's a practical move. I'll move that we consider moving the approval of the proposal for Professional Services Industries for materials testing and observation for the Isabella County Sheriff's Office and Correctional Facility Project in the amount of $75,470 to the work session next Tuesday. Support. It's been supported. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. It moves forward.
Thank you. I know we do, you may have noticed in there, we do have a few suggested changes from our attorney that PSI has been made aware of. And so we'll work towards that final
draft.
yep, for Tuesday's
So
meeting.
that document hasn't been updated totally yet
Correct,
at this point. Okay.
correct. Yep, that's correct. Mhm.
Next item of business is consider approving the utility easement between Isabella County and Union Township for water and sanitary sewer lines servicing the Isabella County Sheriff's Office and Correctional Facility Project and authorize the board chair to sign the same.
That's what you gotta do to get this project moving.
Probably the easiest thing is to look at that exhibit A that comes with that agreement that kind of shows you that hatched line where the proposed utility easement area is. It's the water and sewer mains are going not in the road right of way, but they're in about a 40-foot swath from along the northern part of our property, if you will, from the length of it from east to west, and a 40-foot wide swath is where water and sewer mains are going. Those are Union Township water, going to be Union Township water and sewer mains. That's been vetted long ago where we're gonna get service, water and sanitary sanitary sewer service for the project. So in order for them to put their lines in our property, they need an easement from us.
So as you go west, does that continue on the private lands to the west, or do they cross the road to tie into Maury Courts area, or?
My guess, and Heidi, if you know this, please chime in. You are muted, just FYI, but my guess would be there's existing water and sanitary sewer that Union Township's going to tie into to the west.
Correct. I don't know exactly off the top of my head. I'd have to pull the drawings up, but yes, I believe it might be over by the Maury Courts area. Don't quote me, but that seems like a practical connection there because that's kind of the dead end where they would go into Maury Courts and we would tie in there. So I'd have to read the drawings to verify.
Questions, comments? I guess the next step.
Yeah, as far as I really was, God bless you. I want to thank Union Township for turning this around. Really, it was I think their plan review for the building permit that brought to light this need for this easement. It was relayed to me at our jail meeting Thursday morning from Rowe Engineering, and so I really appreciate Union Township getting me a template easement Friday morning so that our attorney could input from the description and the drawing, he could put the appropriate language in there. And because they provided us that template, this doesn't have to go back and forth between Union Township and the county. We didn't change any of their language, so they'll basically be approving that after we do. So it's a little more efficient, I think, way to do things.
Kind of a one and done thing.
Yeah.
Just do it.
And as you saw, that came out to you separately after the packet on Friday, just because things were happening so fast. But I do appreciate the turnaround of both Union Township and our attorney to get those back to us Friday to get them out for your consideration.
I suspect by the reason for not putting in the roadway, it's only additional safety and protection of the utilities that are there. And
No, Heidi, is there a strategy there for not putting the mains in the road right of way? Was that done for a reason?
We would need to talk to Rowe and the reason why they decided to do it that way. They're the civil engineers of record. Typically we see it in, not in the right of way, but yeah, I'm not sure why they did it this route.
And I did ask the question if it was, gosh, can we do it in the road right away now? Is that a more efficient approach? And apparently not. Apparently this is much more efficient to leave them where they're at and get this easement and get it going.
I can follow up with Rowe if you'd like to see the reasoning.
I think that would be great if we could know that before Tuesday's meeting so that the question could get
Right.
answered.
Show them the difference between if we did it in the right of way versus where we are now.
Yeah, if there was a reason.
I don't think we're planning any buildings in that area anyhow, so it's open space.
Mhm.
Would you like to make the motion on this one?
Consider moving this item to approve the utility easement between Isabella County and Union Township for water and sanitary sewer lines servicing the Isabella County Sheriff's Office and Correctional Facility Project. And authorize the board chair to sign the same, moving it to the regular business session.
I will second that motion. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. And moves forward to the work session. The invoice list discussion. Looks like we had some big bucks going out, but they're fourth quarter tax distribution.
Yeah.
I noticed that we have right along, it seems like every, we did the second distribution, the third distribution, and now the fourth distribution. It's because the monies are here and we can bite that off and send it off to the entities that need those.
You've got it. It's that, well, these are the settlements, right? I mean, or no,
Every 15
Coming.
days.
Okay, okay, so we're not to settlement yet. That's coming
Tomorrow.
very soon though.
Next week, tomorrow.
Tomorrow is
Very, very
March
soon,
1st,
yes.
so
So,
Every, how many days?
15.
They're obligated to pay every 15 days.
the local treasurers that collect the taxes.
Yeah,
And then we're obligated to pay it out.
and then we have to pay it out within 10 days. after that. So
Mhm.
the schools and everybody else is.
Yeah,
Easy.
yeah,
So the reason we did it in like the second, third and fourth, and even though it's a short time span, is because the taxes still hadn't come in. They have up to a certain date and we're just trying to coordinate that.
They
Instead of
haven't
just paying a
collected
lump
until
sum?
March 1st, they can't collect it. The local unit, so we have to collect it.
Okay.
That's what our settlement process is about. That's what we use our DTR fund for. We pay out, we buy all the delinquent taxes from all the units, cities, townships, and things. And then they're 100% funded. And the county the same way, county gets savings. Then from there, we collect after that.
And are your projections for the delinquent taxes pretty much on what you thought they'd be, or more or less? Don't know yet.
Run it about what we figured.
Okay.
Yeah, at this point.
I think his reaction is because of the question mark going forward. Is that correct?
Just want to have enough money, right? I get everybody done, so. But we don't know 100% of what, the ratio is out there. A lot of times it's 95%, 91% collected. And if it's different than that, then it's gonna cost us more DTR money. We have to pay out, so.
Okay.
We have $2 million. We end up buying 3.4.
3.44 million.
Million. That's uncollected by the locals and then it becomes their responsibility. to collect. Yeah, and then we get the revenues from that by collecting fees and interest on it that way.
That's where 2.5, 2.6 right in that area right now, cash.
But you haven't started to settle with the locals yet.
Right, and they'll pay, they'll pay us their last collections. And then we'll settle. Pay them for all the ones.
Process all
We
July 1st.
count on it. We count on it.
Okay, very good, thank you.
Any other questions or comments on the February 17th list? Hearing none, we'll move to the February 24th list. We have one big outgoing, it's Clark Construction.
She hopped off, didn't she?
She knew when to go.
Alrighty, one more thing, yeah. Yeah.
I don't really have any questions. I see that it's just construction costs for the jail.
Yeah.
We need to make the payment on. Other than that, I don't have any questions on any of the others. Oh, well, maybe, I think I see Cisco Foods. And I know in the past, we did a lot with Gordon.
Mhm.
Is there a change in vendor going on or?
I wondered the same thing, Commissioner,
Yeah.
actually, because it was quite a large order. So I think maybe preferences have changed in the jail and they've gone to a new food vendor.
They've been using them for, I would say, about 2 months now. And there's been some pretty significant orders there. They just haven't hit 5,000 mark for you guys to see.
Just see on the front page. Got it.
So they're not using Gordon Food Service as much. As far as
Do we
the
still
why
do-
of it, you would need to, I think, probably we have to reach out to sheriffs on the staffs.
Are we still getting a savings for early payment?
For Gordon Food Service, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Cisco does not offer one.
Well, hopefully the prices are better then.
I was gonna say,
assume so.
I'm curious, what was the motivation? I mean, usually it's either service or price or both. So I was curious as to whether or not it is both or one or the other.
Yeah, we hope one thing is improving.
Yeah.
The only other
No.
question is the Annette Vargo and Daniel Fay
That's the one I had a question.
reimbursement for canceled 2019 tax sale. Apparently that was redeemed or something and
Well, it was sold at the tax sale and there's been a criminal case investigation going on with, the person that formerly owned it. Took the trailer, took a shed, took things that were tangible on it, and it's just not right to go through with the sale on something that's. It was offered at one thing and doesn't have the other, so,
Are these the people that bought it then?
yes.
Okay, okay, that makes sense to me.
So, I've been in contact with, Mr. Barberry upstairs, and he has since, helped us out, but the well was ruined, the septic was ruined. The person before had put a hand grenade, a blank, but put in the garage in a conspicuous place. And they had to have this Michigan State bomb squad come up. Yeah, it's been nothing but a nightmare, and so we had to cancel it. And we will be figuring out the damages and stuff. Prosecuting. Yeah, sometimes you start to get any money. Some of these people, but then we offer that later on. As is with whatever's left there. So if the well don't work and the septic, we probably won't get, the $60,000 some dollars for it, but who knows? It's just, right.
So all these things occurred after the initial listing of the property,
It happened the day of,
Yeah.
the day of.
the guy come in and took his trailer prior to the auction. And that was the grace where I say, hey, look, you're buying it, you're in charge of it once you buy it, but it happened the day before, or the day of the sale. These people were from down south, and when he did it, he damaged a whole bunch of stuff. It wasn't worth what we advertised it for. So the only right thing to do is to cancel the sale and move on from there.
Well, we have a talking point for the list for a change.
Interesting.
Any other questions or comments on the list?
I had none.
All right, that is just a discussion item. We'll move on then to announcements. I don't have any announcements.
None from this guy. That's all.
Call the public. Hearing none, we'll adjourn the meeting then of the Finance and Administration Committee meeting.
So.